any muscle that have to resist force have to gauge the resistance, the recruitment, according to how much force it is going to resist. Let me get the hammer. Here are two examples. That is an axe, and that is a bar, a steel bar. That is heavy, that is light. So how did my muscle know? Look at that, I can hold them at the same level, but I know this is heavy. How did my muscle know how much resistance it has to exert to keep that bar up? This is not central nervous system. This is peripheral nervous system. You can say central, but it is a spinal control. It happens at the spinal neuron, not the cerebral neuron. So if you get somebody who never lifted his bar, it will say heavy, it will fall on the ground. The person never lifted before. But because I lifted before, look at my muscle is contracting according to the weight of that bar. If I draw this bar and give this other lever, which is lighter, this is much lighter. Look at my muscle is not going to contract that much. So the brain did not tell the muscle how to do it. Because if I am blind, if I close my eyes, as soon as I lift it, the heavier it is, the more contraction I have in the muscle. That is recruitment. So muscular recruitment or recruitment of muscle fibers happens at the neuron, at the spinal cord, not at the brain. And it has what we call it alpha sensor, beta sensor. The beta sensor, well, let us just make it simple. The muscle has spindles, muscle spindles, stretch spindles, stretch centers. The stretch center try to exert force, the bar is not moving. Send a message to fire a signal to the neuron in the spinal cord of my hand, which is the neck, cervical region. The spinal cord will send back more signals to more muscles. So you get more recruitment. Now it is easy, but it's not easy. If I move it, look at these muscles. I move it here, these muscles have to do the same thing. How fast can the muscle change the recruitment depends on how strong the muscle is, how much training you have, how healthy is your spinal cord, vertebral column, how much stabilization you can get. If you get a person who never lifted weight, and you lift that thing, immediately he's going to have severe neck pain because it's too heavy. But for me, because look at my neck, I train. So I can get it quick. But when I'm tired, have bad food, junk food, no sleep, that might fall for me. Because the muscle doesn't have enough energy to recruit the muscle fibers that enough. So that's number one, is the reaction. How does the muscle react? How does the muscle exert contraction, recruit muscle? The end of that process is the cut off. The cut off happens here, as the tendon of the biceps, where the biceps is inserted at the bone. Which bone is that? I think this is the ulnar bone. So the cut off comes from the tendon, most probably also the tendon of the neck, but the tendon at the insertion, not the origin, is going to do the cut off as that weight is too heavy. The tendon is going to send a signal to prevent the muscle from recruitment, to avoid rupture, avoid muscle ruptures. So now we discuss two things. The recruitment mechanism that starts the motion, The cutoff mechanism is that in the motion. The recruitment happens at the muscle fibers. The cutoff happens at the tendon sensor. What you call it? It is tendon sensors that do the cutoff. Now we run into a more complicated issue of walking. If you ever married a woman and she have high heels, and a lot of women, more sophisticated women, have high heels, it is very smart. You try to understand what do high heels do. High heels simply mimics all animals that walk on four legs. Look at your dog, your cat, a tiger, a lion. All animals that walk on four legs have to walk on the tips, on the knuckles of the metatarsal bones. That is how you walk like an old man. How you walk on high heels. When you are in the tips of your knuckles, the knuckles of the tarsus, the front part, the front third of the foot, you have more agility, more strength, and more mobility. Why? The reason why is because you are going to limit the contact of the foot to the ground, to a small part of the foot. That will force the line of fall, the line of gravity, that starts from the neck, from the knuckle line of the neck. It goes through the muscles of the neck, stabilize the cervical bone, the neck muscles. You have to go back through the chest, which is called the thoracic region, to the lumbar region, to the pelvic region, to the knee. It will stabilize you in a line, sharp line. So here, if you look at my feet, when I walk on my toes, I have more stability because you focus the force in a line between the neck and the toes. That line will increase the cut-off threshold of the tendons. Because when you walk, how do you fall on the ground? You fall either because the tendons at the neck send a signal quick that you cannot walk. So the cut-off can be here at the neck. The cut-off can be at the chest, at the lumbar, at the hip, at the knee, at the ankle. So to increase the level of cut-off of the tendons, cut-off means cutting the muscle recruitment off. So to avoid falling on the ground or to increase your ability to be mobile, so you avoid having surgery or sitting in a wheelchair, you would have to do that exercise all the time. You walk on the knuckles of the tarsus, the front part of the foot, and you will have to be ready to change the direction on the side. The other side, you have to be ready all the time. So you want to have a mobility, enhance your mobility. Don't stay like this. If you stay like this, the cut-off threshold at all the tendon from the neck, the chest, the back, the hip, the knee, the ankle, all of them would be minimal, subminimal, would be very low, because you did not focus the force in one line. To focus in one line, you have to stay most of the time on the front part of your foot. Never get the heel to the ground, unless you are tired. And the most of the time, try to stand in one foot with the other foot. So, to increase the the posture, balance of the muscles to stay in one foot at a time. And the front, the front part of your foot, Never drag, never drop the heels on the ground. You should not as much as possible. If you have, let me show you other problem. The poor guy was sitting here for years. Here is a shoes that's devastating, that's flat. When I wear that shoe by mistake, it hurt to my neck, my back, and all the nails of my toes become swollen. The nails are swollen with this kind of flat shoes. So this is very harmful. This is better but the same. It has a heel, it has a better heel, so it can force you to stay on the front of your foot. That you're supposed to stay on that part. You are not supposed to do this on the ground. If you are my age, I'm too old. I'm 74-year-old. This is one very much. This is the best. Look at it. I treat it very good. I put some leverage to avoid it, to avoid having to rub it on the ground. This is much better, but the shoe is not going to substitute your mental effort to stay when you move. You get the heels up, you stay in one foot all the time, move the other foot on the foot. One foot, the other foot. Of course, we'll have to exercise. Exercise the shoulders. Exercise the rotator cuffs. Exercise from side to side. When you walk, you are not only walking with your legs, you are walking with your neck. The neck has to stabilize your head in order for your feet to take you. Anytime you walk, you know that. Watch anybody walk. It is one arm, another arm, another arm. And look at that. The neck is bounced, the head is bouncing from one side to another. So the walking mechanism started from the neck. And at the end, they are the feet. 30 years ago, 1994, the doctors wanted to do knee replacement, both knees. Said, no, I will live with my own knees. I am a doctor too, and I know how to live with injury. You can study textbook, you can have a license, you can treat people. But they always say that drunkard outlives his doctor. In other way, you are your own doctor. You have to learn how to survive. Textbook is not going to teach you everything. But your wife high heels will teach you. If your wife have high heels, you know that she is very smart. Women don't have muscles. They have wide pelvis. They have issues with the spasm because of the estrogen. They make the muscle softer. So they have to exercise all the time by walking on high heels on the front of the